Happy Monday night, everyone. This is In the Crease, and I have Tattoo, Sean Hoy, and good old Raz joining the crew.
I'm
I
here.
am I am the Shark Lab Burns here as well. Um, Later on in the show, Sam will be hopping on Darth Pasta, so he has a little bit of an engagement prior to hopping on, but we have a massive 10 game slate on the Tuesday night slate of games for the NHL. Tonight we have a 5 game slate, which is also full of fantasy goodness, packed with some seriously good defensemen that Sean has produced in his awesome defense article that I consume on a freaking nightly basis, man. It's fire. It's been fire all season. Um, and then this is my first time being on the show since last year, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure what to expect. So, but welcome, guys. Good to see everybody, especially Sean. I haven't seen you in a minute. So, but let's kick it off over into tonight's slate of games, the 5 gamer. What are your all's take on the slate so far?
I feel like Montreal is just gonna be super owned, and it's just like how you want to deal with that and figuring the rest out.
Yeah, for those that don't really understand with NHL, I mean, super owned is not like NHL or NFL and other big sports like NBA. NHL, we're probably looking at, sometimes they get upwards of 20%. And, NHL is one of the most high variant sports there is outside of MLB. So talk people through that, Sean, like how you would go about that.
Well, it just depends on the slate size mainly, and just how good of a spot someone's in. People are just gonna default smash on Buffalo, just to start, and then yeah, I mean, it's just a 5 gamer, so I don't know.
Yeah, and they're in a good spot. I mean, Buffalo's in a pretty good spot, taking on they're going up against the Habs tonight. I mean, it's going to be, it could be a high flying affair,
Yeah, I actually have in my mind, I don't know if I'm right yet, because Dobish only has a handful of games under his belt in the NHL, but I think he might actually be better than Montembeault.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird to say.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in the pipes yet on TV, so I'm kind of waiting to see how he looks. But yeah, I mean that'd be interesting, right? Because Monty has been there in between the pipes, for a good couple of years now, and so.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. How about you, Raz? How you feeling about tonight's slate?
I guess I'm just dart throwing, really.
Yeah.
My third sport of the day that I just felt like I needed to get 7 to 10 lineups built. But I mean, I wanted to jump on the Montreal side of that Buffalo matchup.
Yeah.
Just from the offensive standpoint, I get they're going to be high owned, but I don't. I haven't been overly impressed with Buffalo at all. I'm trying to figure out if I should be in love with Aiden Hill. Chase's last start, but his first 3 weren't good, especially 2 of them absolutely atrocious. I don't know what to do with Vegas, and that's kind of the one thing that I'm hoping you guys end up steering me one way or another in that matchup.
Yeah, I always like Vegas on a given night, any given night. I just think they're especially now that they got Marner on the team. They're just, man, they're going to be just a good team all around,
Yeah.
And Eichel leading point on that team. I mean, he's a high flying fantasy producer on any given night that he takes the ice, and they're typically lower owned. maybe on a 5-gamer they're going to be higher owned, but typically on a big slate, like, if they were on tomorrow night's slate and they weren't on a back-to-back, they'd probably be lower owned. They'd probably be in like, some of those guys would be maybe maxed out at 10%. Like Eichel could be like 10, 12%. And that's a great time to like buy on him because he can score multiple goals at any time. But so I was like,
And like, what does Stone being out do? Like, do you think that lowers some of the ownership because obviously he's a gigantic point getter for them, or does that just automatically shift like what would have been on him onto Marner and and/or I guess Dorofeyev or whatever? Like, I mean, like people would see Stone being out and think that weakens them, and maybe they're off of him a little bit more. But I don't know.
I don't know, Sean, Tattoo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what you could do, and it's like actually kind of disgusting since he's so expensive, is one-off Eichel, since neither of his wingers are on the power play. I mean, you could get some like Barbashev in there, some cheapies, but I mean, I actually don't hate it, especially with how much value there is.
It. Stoner took me off of Vegas a little bit, but I 100% agree with Sean. I kind of lean towards just hitting some Eichel one-offs more than stacking Vegas. Most of all my priorities are with Winnipeg and Carolina. Mainly, I have Winnipeg in almost 100% of everything.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where Hurdle's going to be tonight. Is he even going to play tonight?
I think so.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Because last year he had some good runs.
Implied scoring chance.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just pull up Vegas. I'm in the research station right now.
Vegas is popping because Dorofeyev, Eichel, Hurdle are 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 of the top 6 implied scoring chances.
Yeah.
Carolina's been on the road for this is the kind of the end of their road trip, I think, if I remember. So they could have some tired legs.
Yeah, but they haven't lost.
Yeah, to answer your question, Raz, if I was going to hit the Vegas, if I was going to go Vegas here, I'd probably attack. If I'm doing a 4-3 stacks on this, I'd probably do the 4-man stack on a different team, and then I would do a 3-man stack, and I would actually just have Marner, Hurdle, and Dorovev. And Hurdle's actually got the highest shot percentage of any one of these guys tonight's slate. I mean, his SOG BS is actually pretty decent. It's 3.16, but Eichel's in a different stratosphere. I mean, he's 4.5 on his SOG BS. So I don't know. I like the fact that they're all on the same line 2, and they got all the same power play. So, and you're averaging out your salary at around, probably 6,400. So that's not terrible.
Yeah, and another thing is with Stone, they were running the 5-forward power play, which is pretty rare. So Theodore being in there kind of changes the whole thing potentially because he's just a straight up D man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would assume that this means Dorofeyev can't score a goal because hasn't he only scored when he's been assisted by Stone so far this year? Like, isn't that the thing that's been happening?
I mean, Theodore's talented enough to just do the same thing, but yeah, like kind of like baseball, Raz, where you're like the baseball dude, like stats and like regressing to the mean, and like, I've always said like baseball players, whether they're having like a career year or something, like it's a long season, they're gonna probably do what the back of their baseball card's gonna say. So Dorofeyev, like, is he going to score a goal every game? Like, I don't know.
No, but it might put him in line for some assists.
Yeah. I mean, I like that strat though, Burns, like getting all those guys together.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go Vegas, it could work. And maybe just leave Eichel off because Eichel could be pushing 25% owned tonight on a 5-gamer. So at least she gives you that kind of, I don't know, contrarian approach to it. So, so you're on Winnipeg tonight. You're on who else?
Carolina and Vegas are my top 3, and then Montreal.
Walk us through your love for Winnipeg.
Calgary. Let me see if I can pull up the stats at least so I can. Let's see. Calgary gives up 4.17 goals a game, which is good for 30th. And Winnipeg is third at 4.2 goals per game. Calgary only scores 1.67, worst. So, Scheifele and Connor are just incredible. Let's see. Scheifele has 6 goals, 3 assists through 5 games. Connor 3 goals, 5 assists, and they both have about 15 shots on goal. So they're getting 3-4 shots a game and getting points every game. And I think it's just a smash spot against Calgary.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on the research station, and yeah, it's a no kidding spot here for Scheifele and Connor together. I mean, these guys are dynamite together. They have been for a number of years now.
Yeah, Morrissey's kind of expensive for what he's been doing this year, so I don't mind leaving him out. But if you want to go hard, you got Velarde and Alex Afalo's on the power play with them. So,
I was just going to go there. With the Iafallo. I mean, he's on the power play with them. He's not had that bad of a run so far this year. I mean, he's got six blocks, which is, that's decent so far this year. And then he's got 8 shots on goal and an assist and a goal. So I mean, that could actually be that little piece right there, that little piece of contrarianism could be a little different than a lot of people who are probably going to run the main L1 power play 1 with Morrissey in there as well.
I think Winnipeg's prices scare off a lot of people too, or take people away from them because they are expensive,
right?
Expensive stack.
Yeah, and it seemed like last year we had to hit them on the right night. They were a little hit or miss, more miss than hit last year, and if you didn't land them on the right night, it was kind of like, oh man, that sucks. And they crush all your lineups with them. But what are your thoughts, Sean?
So that's like my hard fade tonight, and I'm probably wrong. So, I mean that's just NHL.
Yeah.
I'm in the weeds, like I'm not the hard stat bro that Burns is, Burns is the numbers guy, and that's why he's more right than me more often.
Nah, you got me beating this one.
But I know Calgary is pissed off. Like they've had a bad start to the year, and I'm pretty sure that they had like an internal meeting and shit, and Wolf's back in there, and Wolf is actually a good goalie, even though it's only his second year.
Yeah.
Basically, they were in like the playoff discussion all last year, and that was just because of Dustin Wolf. Really, they can't score a goal, which is, like Tat said, why Hellebuck's kind of boring today.
Yeah.
I just think that game is going to get real sloppy, but that's just me. I'm mainly on Montreal, and then I really like the Rangers pricing. I like JT Miller at $6K. Panarin usually takes him a few games to get his legs going, and he had 4 points last game. And even though they haven't scored a home goal yet, Minnesota's been leaky.
Yeah.
Like they get paid to give up goals.
Yeah. And then the Kraken are in a decent spot. I don't think Dan Vladar is any good, but the Kraken is just kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about that.
I'll say something else about Carolina. Like their scoring is a lot more spread out than like Winnipeg. So I really like. And I think Keandre Miller's going to be on line power play one now with Ghost out. But I really love Taylor Hall, Staycove, and Jackson Blake line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and another thing about the Calgary shit is I forget how many games Backlund's been back, but Backlund in being on home ice, he's probably going to be on Scheifele's, like up against Scheifele's line all night. So we'll see. It's just expensive for me.
Huberdeau's back too, ain't he?
Who? Oh, Huberdeau. Yeah.
And are you playing in the 121 tonight?
I didn't even see it there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I was going to do a full 150 in MME and start working on my MME runs and like revising my process from last year. But man, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see the mini because I usually max that out and then revise my process throughout the first, week or two of running MMEs. And man, it was gone. I didn't even know where it was. So, so I'm just running 20 tonight, and it should be a shit show. But otherwise, how about you, Raz? What where are you going to place all your emphasis on tonight? You're going to be with Montreal, pretty much.
Feels like it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to play a lot more Minnesota just because obviously their offense has been so dynamic, but like it's obviously not a great matchup. But I guess we have seen. I mean, I guess Shesterkin really hasn't struggled at all yet this year, right? Like 2 goals allowed in just 1, and then 1 or less in the other 4 starts. So it's probably just a bad spot to be on Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, their offense can be just so good. I mean, maybe their offense misses a little bit of a beat with Rossi not being out there, but it's really hard to not want to use them, despite the matchup. And I don't know, like, on the other side, like the Rangers have to score at some point, don't they? At home?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Igor is he's on fire right now.
I mean, they're stout. I mean, Kaprizov and Boldy and Eck. I mean, these guys are stout dudes. Together, that's why I always like playing Minnesota, because of the fact that they're together. These guys are really freaking good. Yeah. And
Ron made a comment the other day, which I thought about too. Minnesota looked like they weren't even trying against Washington the other day. They just looked horrible.
Yeah.
So I
don't know.
Some concern. But they
they're big upside, and they're gonna not be owned at all tonight.
Yeah. Except for I'm gonna have a good bit of them.
Yeah. If you're not using Igor, I would definitely think about getting some Boldy or Kaprizov in there.
Okay. Well, how about if we switch over to tomorrow night's slate and start breaking down this 10-game slate into more digestible form for everyone. This slate, let's see what we got here to start off. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 o'clock games, a 7:30 game, and a couple 3 8 o'clock games, and then we got a nightcap with Colorado and Utah. Where's all the leverage here, Sean? Are you going to be leveraging a lot of your emphasis on CBJ tomorrow, or are you going to be looking elsewhere?
No, actually, this is like a good general thing. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe you guys can tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why. But like I said, there's certain teams that we're just going to attack, like the Sabres and the Penguins and the Sharks. Two teams that I am just avoiding playing anyone against them and any goalies against them are the Jets and the Stars. I'm not playing goalies against them because they don't shoot much and they're freaking good. And then they have stud goalies, Ottinger and Hellebuck. So I have no interest playing against the Stars ever.
Yeah.
Maybe take Hellebuck or Ottinger. But Tats Sharks are playing the Islanders, it looks like. And
Yeah.
that's always interesting.
Yeah, and they got a nice little power play one there. The Islanders do. Horvat, I mean, he's solid. You gotta like that, right?
And then the Capitals against the Kraken on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And I think the Cord's going tonight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shitty-ass Grubauer. Capitals all the way.
Oh yeah, that's an Ovechkin line with that's Ovechkin all day long. I mean, I love him with Strom and Wilson. You know, that's such a great pairing, and you could even just keep it at those three. And if you want, I mean, you can make it a 4-man and have Carlson in there as well.
I really like Protus. I think he's a stud.
Oh, you like the line 2 instead of the line 1?
I mean, I like them both, but I really like Protus with McMichael, and I was thinking Wilson might be with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hasn't Wilson been on line 2 with Protus? I mean, I was super high on that line Friday, was it? When they faced, was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
So from watching, like, obviously, I'm just back into hockey more, but they're similar to what Dallas has done this year with all their guys, and like they start out with their set lines, and then throughout the game, like they're just mixing and matching as they go. So like even mixing with Ovechkin with that line 2 or Strome or whatever, like I think there's value in doing that with that team. And at first look, they're probably going to be my favorite team tomorrow. A lot of my love on Friday just came because like last year they were a super strong power play team, and they've been atrocious this year. So like I've been looking for spots where like positive aggression is going to hit. So like just a traditional like baseball thing for me, like that special teams unit should get better. And I mean, they did score a power play goal on Friday, but like you're just expecting them to regress back to at least the mean. Like they've just been super subpar this year. So like that's what really got me on that line too, just because I like the way Protas and Wilson have played together from when I was watching. Wilson's a lot of fun to watch. Just a ton of aggression and speed. That's, from a fan standpoint, it's just fun seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up an amazing point too. I mean, when you look at putting Ovi with the line 2, you're actually doing something a little different than a lot of people will do in this, right? Most people play and they're just like, oh yeah, Ovi's got to go with Strom, he's got to go with Wilson and Carlson. But if you put him with Protas on the line 2, I mean, that's a little different twist there that not a lot of DFS players are going to actually implement. And I've seen it multiple times where in really sharp tournaments where these guys are doing it and it's working. And that might be the new trend, I mean, I've seen it. I saw it a lot last year in single entry, especially. But yeah, I don't know, Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I got one more thing to add to that, and then I'm going to ask Tad a question about tomorrow.
Okay.
But Yeah, Grubauer, as we said, he's terrible. Like, I don't know, other than him collecting a shit ton of money off of a bad contract, why they wouldn't just waive him and send him down to Coachella. But he also was teammates with a lot of these veteran guys on the Caps, like for a long time. So they know him too, which is kind of interesting. It's just kind of a smash all the way around. And then we were talking about regressing to the mean and shit like that. Tat's team that is usually like mid at allowing goals is like one of the best defensive teams, and Stuart Skinner's been amazing. And Ottawa with Ullmark, who's usually good, has been terrible. So what the hell is going to happen in that game?
We're still finding ourselves offensively. It's so many new players in there. Roslovic just got there a couple games ago too. So we just haven't been scoring. I watch every game. It's been sloppy. So I personally, I won't be on them very heavy tomorrow. I'm going to have to, see them start clicking first.
So what are we looking at with Drysdale coming in for salary wise? Is he still going to be around the upper 8s into the low 9s, or is he going to be pushing mid 9s?
He's been
8,300.
Like
83.
He's
He's
8,300.
more expensive than McDavid on FanDuel.
Okay. I didn't pull up the slate salaries.
Yeah, I have it up on one of my monitors now. But
Okay.
But at least you can use him as a winger. So.
Yeah. Let's see. And the McDavid, he's coming in. Wow. That's really cheap for McDavid. I haven't seen him that cheap. So 8,800 is pretty cheap for McDavid, though. He's usually
Yeah,
he
upper
just doesn't
9s.
have that.
What I said before.
He hasn't had that
Him and-
blow up game yet.
Yeah.
Him and Leon are still always viable.
Right. And
And
then
wow.
Matthews, he's at his normal spot and salary. Drysdale's 83. That's a good salary for him. What else we got in here? Let me just pull up Edmonton.
that was
David Tavosek is usually with them. Look, I thought I was going to get sneaky the other day, and Steph and I look, and Sean and Darth right there with me with him. I'm like,
yeah, you're not gonna sneak that one. Everyone's gonna be on that shit. But yeah, Toronto, they're in an interesting spot. There's some narratives in that game with New Jersey. They're facing their old coach, and after the Seattle loss, their goalie Stolar is like kind of lost his shit in the locker room a little bit, and was talking to the media about like his team not getting in front of the net of the other team. So I'm actually thinking Toronto might have a little fire in their ass.
I like Toronto more.
Yeah.
You think
Always like
March is
Toronto.
gonna put up a Hattie versus Boston tomorrow?
Oh, I forgot about that. They might kill him.
Yeah.
Everyone always likes Toronto, though. I mean, they're of the highest owned.
Yeah.
I'm a faithful Toronto 2 player whenever I play Toronto. I mean, I might mix in Austin too, but what do you think about Vegas?
Let me pop up
Sean?
one question though before we move on. Give me one sec here. Is there a reason simulation domination isn't getting updated for NFL anymore? I would actually ask for the NFL, the simulation domination. That is DFS spreadsheets. So if you shoot him a message on in chat, you should be able to hit. He should be able to provide you with an understanding of what's going on with that situation.
He was actually out of town this weekend.
okay.
Like he made a he posted and stated that he was able to do it. Then he tried to do the first game simulation today and did everything. And then it was ruled that Ibuka was going to play, and it completely trashed everything that he did. And he didn't have enough time to rerun it. So it'll be back again. He just was, I don't know, vacation or just out of town for personal reasons and wasn't able to do it. Like, because to be honest, like if you'd have ran the simulation domination last Thursday night because he was leaving like Friday morning or something, like that's not going to help us because there's so much news that comes Saturday night that it just won't be there. But somebody probably should have put something on the site. I just don't know how that's run, so I don't know how it posts to the website if they can just add a note to it. But yeah, it'll be back for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely coming back. Spreadsheets hasn't left the site at all. He just, like Raz said, he was out for the weekend, and I 100% agree with you that it is an amazing tool, and I think everyone here on the panel uses it in one way, shape, or form or another. But so it'll definitely be back for Thursday night, full force. Spreadsheets he's the dude that does it, and he's awesome at it. But sorry to cut you off, Tattoo. I just wanted to address that because I saw that pop up.
I was just asking what y'all thought about Vancouver, who's been getting hot lately. They won 3 or 4 straight against Pittsburgh tomorrow.
I mean, Pittsburgh's had some pretty solid goalie play so far this year, haven't they? Like, was that expected, or are they just kind of, I don't know, playing outside of their normal ability? Because, I mean, like, both of them have, like, multiple 20-plus point fantasy point games. So, like, they're performing strong enough. But I don't know. I mean, like, I'm also learning that I don't really want to go with a lot of road teams in the NHL these days. But
I'm just gonna go with a little narrative here. I know I'm the nerd with that shit, but I don't know obviously who's gonna be in goal tomorrow, but I would honestly guess it would be Shelov's, and he got traded from Vancouver, so he's probably wanting to shove it.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty decent anyways. Like, I was actually kind of mad that they got him.
Yeah, you were hoping that CBJ would pick him up?
I mean, either that or just not go in the Metro for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, road, I don't know. The trends have yet to develop, and they're going to develop over, the next couple of weeks where we start to see, more. These goalies are going to be on the road, and they're going to be in the pipes on the road, and they're going to be in the pipes at home, and we can start to see the road versus home splits on these guys. And, but like Sean said before, you can target really bad goalies, more often than not, whether they're home or away. And, and it can always lead to decent fantasy production, but it is the NHL and it is a high variant sport, and anything can happen. I mean, last week we saw it with Philly. Coutieri, I mean, he exploded for 30 plus DK points. So you never know what you're going to get.
The highest variance is goalies.
Yeah.
Goalie, I have no freaking idea. Like, Bobrovsky was the third string goalie on Florida 3 years ago. And he got his job back from Alex Lyon, and Spencer Knight sucked. And then he goes back in, and Bob is a Hall of Famer. Like,
yeah, he does that all. He's a fantastic goalie. I mean,
yeah, it's just these guys can do anything on any given day. Like, I don't think Linus Ullmark is like the trash can that he is this year so far.
Might get a good price on Demko tomorrow, being on the road.
7,800.
How what they got Pittsburgh at, or I'm sure they're the same
7,600. 200 cheaper at home for their goalies. So I mean,
yeah, that might be a goalie game for me.
Okay. Any other games on the slate of games tomorrow that are popping for you?
The Avs are playing, so that's always something you have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, the Colorado-Utah matchup kind of like got me to raise my eyebrows a little bit, just because it seems like Utah ends up chalky, at least like optimizer-wise or projection-wise. Like they have their lines that end up chalkier, but like I don't know. Every time I've played, I've played them like twice this year. I feel like they've done absolutely nothing when I have. Like I mean, that could obviously be variance-based, or like are they just routinely over-projected? Is kind of, I guess, my question.
Seems like it.
I think they are. And Sean, you can weigh in as much as you want. But I think on any given night, they're of the highest projected point wise skaters on the entire slate, and especially McKinnon. He is always high projection for ownership, and there are nights where I just don't want to play him because he's so owned, and you're not going to gain any leverage on the field by doing it. And he can obviously pop off and get a hat trick in any game, but he's so expensive. And when you pair him with his line, it is one of the most expensive lines. If you go with the 4-man stack that for the slate, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather have McDavid and Drysdale and get almost the same production out of it than I can with Colorado. But Sean, you're probably going to destroy my take there. But yeah.
No, it just depends. Like the only way you can really stack them, I mean, you could just do a 2-man with him and Nietzsche's, but it seems like if they're doing stuff, Makar is like got the highest ceiling of any D. Like he's popping for 30. But like the only way you're doing that is if value opens up somehow. Someone wakes up with the runs or some shit. Like it's expensive. But yeah, I'd bet the over on that game tomorrow. I just don't know where the goals are specifically going to come from for Utah.
Well, like you said one time, Sean, if I remember correctly, like McKinnon's like a cash lock.
Yeah.
Like someone to look to fade in tournaments.
Yeah, in a way. Sometimes I'll one-off him in single entries, but it just depends on how big the field is.
Well, that's a really good play though. When you one-off him in tournaments, like in small high dollar GPP single entry contests, that's probably the best way to play him. Outside of cash, but he can go off too.
Yeah, but he could put up a 0 like anybody. Not very often, but I mean, he gets 2 shots on goal and you get 3 points out of him. Like, woo.
Yeah, the likelihood of him getting a 0 is really small, but it can still happen. It's hockey. Let's see what else we got in this. Any love here on any of the skaters for Ottawa, Sean?
I am unsure of what I want to do yet there. Raz has the prices in front of them. I haven't looked yet, but someone is going to, like right now it's Shane Pinto lugging the mail for that team with Brady Tkachuk out, but I don't know how sustainable that is. But then again, I don't know if Edmonton's really got a shutdown line and Ottawa's got a lot of speed. So, like, I'm interested in that game. I just don't know what I'm doing with it yet.
Okay. So Skinner, you believe Skinner is definitely going to be in the pipes, between the pipes there, or
I would assume, but
He's earned it. I mean, so far this year,
okay?
I'd imagine he'll be in there.
I mean, it's a good line one. I mean, it could be a high scoring line one on any night. I mean, Steitzel and Sanderson are great together, and so isn't Batherson. So I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna put up my D article after we're done here, and Sanderson's in there.
Okay.
He was my dark horse Norris pick this year, and I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't even look at the odds for futures this year with how much best ball I've done. But
Did your man make the list this year?
Werenski,
Yeah.
he probably had too good of odds.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I always look for like the dark horse.
Another team I don't think we mentioned. I like the Blues a little bit too.
Okay. Talk to us about that one.
The Kings just haven't, I guess I gave them the complete jinx opening night talking about Darcy Kemper so much, and now they just suck. I mean, they're giving up. Double check. .83 goals a game, which is 29th. And
Yeah, they've given up 3+ goals in every single game so far. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, Tat, do you remember my hot take in the first show? LA out, Ducks
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's early, but
Yes, yeah.
the Kings just don't have any speed, and I don't understand their offseason.
We won't know nothing until 20 or 30 game point. That's when you know who teams are.
As the Canadian people say, American Thanksgiving is when you start to know stuff.
Do you think Kopitar being out actually makes them like that first line more? I don't know. Makes it a worse line than with him in it. I mean, he's a really good skater.
I actually like Byfield to open his game up a little bit.
I would say I lean towards Byfield Fiala when I play the Kings.
But now he's up there with Kempe, and Kempe's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Stars look, but they're so spread out, it's hard to nail down where it's going to come from.
I'll tell you that Jason Robertson killed the Jackets. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play Johnson with Robertson for sure, but like I'm gonna crisscross like the lines together, and that's probably one of the teams that I do a 5-man like just full stack. I haven't gotten to the 6-man like hand building, but Darth and I have talked about this. Like a bunch of slates on DK so far this year have been won by 6-man stacks. Like from his response, it seems like it's kind of an outlier. But like even Friday, like the one that I wanted to attack Washington, Minnesota, it was a 6-man Washington that dominated everything I was in on DraftKings. So like in my head, it's like, God, can I really play 6 guys from one team? And I don't think it works as much on the 10-game slate. The more Darth and I talked through it, it's like you have to be so perfect on a 10-gamer, which is the same with, NFL. If it was a huge slate, like your onslaught stacks kind of lose a little bit because other people can one-off and nail things. Same with baseball, right? Like, so it's tough. Probably not something to do here, but I will 5-man Dallas just because they crisscross so much during the game that like I want to have exposure to when suddenly like Johnston and Robertson end up out there with Rantanen, right? It ends up being expensive, but like each of those guys could have 3 points by the end of it, and it wouldn't shock me.
And if a team really pops off, it's not going to probably just be one line.
Right.
That does everything. Is that second or third line might pop off for a goal or two. So yeah, like you said, a small slate, you get the right team, just hammer them.
Yeah, I actually like that strategy for single entry too, where you don't have to hit the nuts specifically, and like maybe one of the 6 fails. That still could be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, even 4 of the 6, like that strategy is similar to what the NFL people have started to do. People used to think you had to do this onslaught stack to win these large field GPPs, right? Like, just get that one game that just blows up. A lot of the sharp people in higher dollar, like single entry and everything, they are like fully stacking their NFL builds. Quarterback +3, like they're just doing it that way in their smaller field stuff. And I think that parallels with how NHL could be, based on what I've seen so far.
Yep, just throw spaghetti at the wall.
Right.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, it'll get more towards the 4 3s, the 5 2s, 3 3s as we get further along. But yeah, those 6-man stacks, they can work. I mean, I've seen it already. So it
saw
can work.
Last year, the 3-mans.
Yeah.
Some of those guys would onslaught.
Yeah, Sakima, I mean, he uses it a lot in his builds. But if you get it wrong, you're totally fucked.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I mean, like that same thinking is like I tried cash for the first time on Saturday, I think it was, and like I just got the cash wrong because our RDS just loved Pitt for sure, and it just didn't get to the right pieces or didn't get any pieces of Vegas. I don't think it might add McNabb as a defenseman one-off or something, but like it completely ignored Vegas. And looking back at it, like, I mean, it should have been Eichel, or at least McKinnon over Makar. Like it jammed in Makar, and Makar basically did nothing in that game. But yeah, I mean, it made me think that like even in cash, I wanted to have some sort of stronger correlation stack. Like it gave me a 3-man Pitt stack, but I don't really want to trust Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Even though it is Crosby, but it's older Crosby, and then there's just a lot stronger center plays. Plus Malkin seems like the biggest point earner on Pittsburgh as it is. So I don't know. Like I'm still learning, what I'm doing there. I still hate cash processes because I've never been a cash person. So growing pains, I guess.
The Penguins are bound to regress, so they're not a good team.
And then how about this Anaheim Nashville game? Any love on that side of play?
Not particularly. I mean, Anaheim looks really good, but if it's in Nashville, which I think it is,
it is.
Yeah,
that's a tough place to play, and they might have Saros in. Like he's above average at least.
Yeah, and that line 1 is actually a pretty good line for the Preds. I mean, it's a line that probably is going to be owned. It's not going to go under the radar. Whenever the Preds are on, they always seem to be owned, and never really get it. But yeah. Let's see. Any other games that we missed? Did we talk about the Florida-Boston game at all?
I think there's going to be some antics there with Marchand coming back. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think he's going to do something stupid.
Okay.
And then the other narrative is, I mean, we already talked about like the Islanders being in a good spot, but Matthew Schaefer's got a point in each game to start his career, so he may or may not be in my piece for tomorrow.
Kid might be all right.
All right. Well, I think we hit every single game there.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on contest selection for the members, what type of contest you're attacking, and on the slates, especially a large game slate like we are seeing on Tuesdays, or a particular contest that you gravitate towards over others?
I
Yeah, they
gravitate.
should. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna make a joke.
I was gonna say, I'll shut up. Let you go.
Oh, no, I was gonna say everyone should join the like 10 or 11 player like $100 buy-in, reserve their entry, not play a line, and then just let me take their money.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gravitate towards single entry, 3 max, 5 max that are 100, 200 people or under. Just try to find the smaller contest. And I know you love 3-mans.
Yeah, I'm a heavy attacker of the 3-mans. I actually attack certain players in them that you would think, they're actually whales in the industry, but they're very beatable. And I attack them nightly. I did it all last year. And, I did it with success. I haven't started doing it with as much volume as I did last year yet, but I'm kind of just waiting for more weeks to take place so that I have more, data to drive to pull from. But otherwise, they're great contests. The 5-man contests, they're great. Winning, you can win Q tickets. I mean, Q tickets, you can get into them as low as $3, I believe, an entry in a single entry contest for qualifier, and you can qualify to get into the 168 for the World Fantasy Hockey Championships. So there's always that. But, for mass multi-entering, there's really not a lot of tournaments that are great other than the big $15 one. And then I think they have the $5 one, and then they have a couple of 20 maxers.
$12 and $27 single entries are usually pretty good ones.
Yeah,
maybe like
$12
one
people
or 29 people, or they're smaller ones. 99 people.
Yeah, and then
the $12 one's 588 people tomorrow. I was just looking around, like
smaller one closer to lock.
Yeah, like it's super top heavy for the $5. There's a $20, and then obviously the 121, the 150, and the 333. But a lot of those other secondary ones, the single entry, a little lower prize pools than I would have thought. Since tomorrow never mind. It's NBA starting back up. As you say, like there's no MLB and NFL and all that stuff, but yeah, NBA is starting tomorrow, so I guess that's probably why.
And you'll see guys like McLovin. He'll exit out of NHL and go straight over to NBA. He's been playing NHL because of the fact that NBA hasn't kicked in, and he's probably one of the highest volume players in NBA that's in the DFS spectrum. So I think he's probably putting out $100K a night in NBA. So
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so some of the whales that are in NHL right now, you're not going to see them after NBA kicks off. So, but yeah, Tuesday nights are always you can make some funky plays, some funky lineups, and potentially take down a tournament. You never know.
Yeah, it's just the larger fields is where it gets hairy, because there's every once in a while a crazy play that doesn't make any sense that people will just plug in as a one-off. Like you brought up Couturier. I remember last year Scott Lawton, who was like third line for the Flyers, put up 4 goals and like 50. And then they just like had the other stacks like semi-right. I'm just like, no one's gonna have him in like the single entries. Like I'm not telling people to not play the big tournaments, because like that shit's rare, but it does happen, and it's kind of tilting because you could have a top 1% lineup that wins like every other night, but then like some douchebag has some crazy nonsense.
I've seen that too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that night specifically.
Well, any parting words, guys, before we have to sign off?
No, I mean I haven't
know.
seen Burns in a while, and this is my first Raz live exposure, and he's a fine, handsome gentleman. So
I love exposing myself to Raz.
yeah,
Can confirm he does definitely enjoy doing that.
Well, everyone, have a good evening, and I hope you see yourself at the top of the leaderboards
At least in
in
second place.
tonight's slate of games, as well as tomorrow's big night slate of games. Hope to see everybody at the on top of the leaderboards. For the Shark Lab, Tattoo, Sean Hoy, and Raz, we bid you adieu. Good night, everyone.
I do.